What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RaceNews.com. Welcome back to our final Kentucky Derby update. Now, this won't be our final Kentucky Derby video, obviously, but it will be the final update. As you know, next week at this time when we usually do these, we'll be busy making picks and making updates about our picks versus, news updates and top fives and everything like that. So the last one of these videos, it started way back in after the Breeders' Cup in November. So we've done these every week for a long time. It's always kind of bittersweet when this last one is upon us. But here we go. So what are the updates right now? Well, Deterministic is not going to run. That's the biggest update this week. He is out, and that is going to leave Grand Mo the First in. So Grand Mo the First going to get into the Kentucky Derby. Deterministic dropping out. That's not a huge surprise. I think kind of everybody kind of felt like that was coming. So, what that really means, I'm not sure. I think they just said, okay, we're going to take a conservative approach with him, run him in the Peter Pan, then try the Belmont, something like that. Maybe they felt like he just wasn't quite ready for a challenge like this. Christophe Clement, yeah, he's really not one that's going to push him into races that he doesn't think they should be in. So Deterministic is out. Another horse on the outside looking in, just a rumor right now, but Common Defense is kind of rumored to be on the fence, so to speak, about running in the Kentucky Derby. Nothing firm on that, though, so take that for what it is. He's still on the outside looking in, so we'll see kind of what happens with him. He may not be able to run even if he is ready to go. So we'll kind of see what happens with him. That's not really one that we're taking all that serious as of right now. A horse we talked about last week, Encino, he's in the Kentucky Derby when No More Time dropped out. So Encino is now in. I kind of alluded to it, man, it really sounds like he's going to run in the Preakness, and last weekend it really did. You kind of read the connections quotes now. It seems like Encino is going to run in the Kentucky Derby now. So I love it. I mean, I think he's a horse that's got a shot for sure. I've got him ranked up pretty high right now, and, I don't know that I'll end up picking him to win, but using him, I think definitely. So, all things being equal, we don't know post positions, jockeys, all that kind of thing. But certainly Encino kind of, I love that they're going to try it. And it sounds like they are definitely going to as of now. So that's about all the updates. There's not a lot to look forward to as far as next week. There's really no prep or anything like that. So, all left to do is the final top 5 of the year. And like I said, this is the top 5 based on the talent I see from each horse. This is not final picks. This is not anything. It's just the top 5 based on what we've seen all season long. Number 5, Honor Marie for me. I feel like he is getting ignored a little bit right now, kind of forgotten. Let's not forget about him. He improved greatly in his second start. He has a win. Second start is a 3-year-old, I should say. He has a win over this Churchill Downs surface. And look, I think the Louisiana Derby was a pretty strong race, and I thought he was pretty good at it. So number 5 on my list is Honor Marie. Number 4, Forever Young. I told you last week, wait till Forever Young shows up. Everybody will go nuts, and they have. He's spectacular. He's amazing. He's the greatest horse to ever live. That's what we're hearing from in the morning, at least with the way he's looking. I've got him at number 4. He's going to have to come over here and do something that no other horse has been able to accomplish yet. That's not saying it's impossible, though. I'm sure one day it's going to happen. Maybe it's Forever Young. Number 4 on my list, Forever Young. Number 3, Catching Freedom, the winner of the Louisiana Derby, and I thought was a very impressive winner. Brad Cox trains this horse, and he definitely has that turn of foot coming from dead last to first. I do think he's a little bit more tactical and can show a little bit more of being a tactical horse if he gets out of the gate a little bit better in the Kentucky Derby. And if he doesn't, he's just going to have to come with one late run. But he's got a nice turn of foot. He's still got a little growing up to do, in my opinion, but he'll sit there at number 3 on my list for one more week. Number 2, Sierra Leone. He definitely has a running style that makes you nervous. It's not impossible for him to win the Kentucky Derby, but you kind of know he's going to be last or close to last. That's just him. He's not going to change. And listen, I wouldn't change anything about him. He's been spectacular with that running style. But will he get caught in traffic? Will he have to swing wide? All questions he's going to have to answer. But look, number 2, Sierra Leone. He's been awfully good, especially this season, winning the Risen Star and the Bluegrass, 2 races that were pretty tough, and probably 2 of the tougher races in this prep season. And then number 1 is Fierceness. And I think from a talent perspective, I don't think a lot of people are debating that Fierceness is number 1. I think that's pretty clear based on his 3 races where he ran really well. if we hadn't had those two races that are beyond bad, this would probably be a slam dunk for me. I would just say, well, if he runs his best race, he's going to beat the other one, so I'm going to pick him. But, oh, yeah, that factor of he just never runs consistently. He's never put back-to-back races together. And this is kind of the race where he would not run well after he ran extremely well in the Florida Derby. So he's a real guess. We had a commenter the other day on one of our shows going, I don't know why you're talking about fierceness. You have no idea what he's going to do. No shit. No. Yeah, I don't. Absolutely. You could say that about any of them. You don't know what any of these horses are going to do on a given day, but some are very consistent and you can count on a little bit more than others. Yeah, I don't have a clue what fierceness is going to do, but I do know his best race will win. But I do know he doesn't run his best race all the time. So we'll see what fierceness can do here. He seems like an all or nothing. But from a talent standpoint, I'll put him at number one. Oddly enough, the very first video we did, fierceness was number one, and he ends number one. He was not number one in the middle there for a while, but that rarely happens, and it'll happen this year. So there's something to be said about that for sure. All right, to recap, number 5, Anna Marie, number 4, Forever Young, number 3, Catching Freedom, number 2, Sierra Leone, and number 1 is Fierceness. That'll be the last top 5 of the year. All right, I keep telling, hey, this is the last Kentucky Derby update. I want you to remember, just because it's the last video like this that I'll be doing for you, that doesn't mean you're not going to see me next week. I'll be all over the YouTube page as well as everybody else. And you're seeing everybody else on the page now for the horse profiles, the horse capsules, things like that. So this is the last Kentucky Derby update like this video, but we'll have a ton of content over the next couple of weeks, obviously covering the Kentucky Derby. And eventually next week, giving a pick for the Kentucky Derby. We've been talking about it for 5-6 months. Now we get to actually say, hey, here's who we think's going to win. So that's something to look forward to. All right, that'll do it for the Kentucky Derby update for this week. Thank you all, everybody, for watching these videos. If you've watched them all year, I cannot thank you enough. Really appreciate it. And look, keep joining us for more content of the Kentucky Derby. We'll be here for the next 2 weeks, night and day. All right, guys, thanks everybody for watching, and if I could talk, and stay tuned for more coverage of the Kentucky Derby.